Hello, friends, and welcome back to Elaborations with Skellington Grin. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to give you a tiny preface. Yes, I know that I've been pretty inconsistent with getting episodes out lately. Life has simply been doing the most, and I've been working in a couple of new directions, juggling some personal growth of my own, and honestly just navigating some hectic energy here and there. And to top it off, I wound up getting sick last week. So I had to slow down and take care of myself before I could show up fully for all of you. But we're here now, we're breathing, we're grounded, and today's conversation is an important one. So let's talk about something a lot of people in modern spirituality bump into, sometimes without even consciously realizing it at first. What happens when manifestation teachings get misinterpreted, misused, or weaponized, and suddenly you're being told that someone else's choices are somehow your responsibility? You know the phrases. Everyone is you pushed out. People reflect who you are back to you. You attract what you are, not what you want. You attracted this because of your self-concept. And ultimately, you manifested other people's behavior towards you. Now, these ideas can be helpful in the right context. They can help us recognize cycles that we are repeating. They can help us to understand our internal beliefs, and they can help us to elevate how we show up for ourselves and in the world around us. But there is a line, and some spaces, communities, or even so-called teachers erase that line entirely. Suddenly, instead of spirituality helping you grow, it becomes a pressure cooker. You are no longer a human with real emotions and real circumstances. You are instead a walking vibration being critiqued whenever someone treats you poorly, or you accept something that goes outside of the bounds of what you have been taught. And today, I want to break that myth wide open. Because you can believe in the power of your mind without believing that you caused someone else's dishonesty towards you. You can work on your self-worth without taking on guilt for someone else's lack of integrity. And you can be spiritual without blaming yourself for the things that you didn't choose. So let's unpack this gently, honesty, and with a little bit of humor, because your girl has seen some things and been through some things. First things first, the problem isn't the law, it is the misuse and misinterpretation of it. The law of attraction, the law of assumption, and manifestation as a whole were never meant to turn into the idea that you caused everything that happens to you. That isn't empowerment. That is emotional gymnastics with extra guilt sprinkled on top. Kind of like a hodgepodge sundae of flavors that don't even go together, and then you sprinkled on acid glitter. Yes, your beliefs do shape your boundaries and your perception of the world around you. Yes, your self-concept influences what you accept from others and of yourself. But other people still have free will. They still have shadow work they haven't done, trauma patterns they haven't unpacked, and choices that they consciously make. And your self-concept does not override someone else's character. You've probably even heard it in other manifestation groups that people do not have free will when you are trying to influence how they show up in your life. And that, my friends, is false. And we're about to get into that. So, how do many of these teachings get weaponized? Sometimes, without naming names or pointing fingers at direct people and communities on social media and even on YouTube, people and groups twist spiritual principles into the following. If someone mistreats you, you manifested that. If someone lies to you, it's because you expected them to. If someone leads you on, it's because your self-concept allowed it. This turns spirituality into a blame cycle instead of a healing cycle. And you end up questioning your intuition instead of the person who actually made the questionable choices. And when you question those choices, you wind up getting gaslit. It's happened to me, and I'm still healing from it. But I want you to remember that you are responsible for your healing, not the actions of other people. Let's be clear. You are not responsible for someone else being dishonest with you. You are not responsible for someone flirting with you while hiding their intentions and situation. You are not responsible for someone projecting onto you and whittling you down so that you cave to their coercion. You are not responsible for someone encouraging emotional closeness and then pulling away when it gets too rough. You are responsible for how you process it, what you choose to do next, what lessons you hold on to, the shadow work that you do, the self-concept that you rebuild, and how you rebuild your boundaries going forward. That is not growth. If someone is telling you that you cannot work on that, if someone is telling you that you are responsible for more than what you have done in the situation, that is not growth. That is guilt. And when we focus on being responsible for our healing, we turn that guilt into growth instead. So here is a version of spirituality that doesn't hurt and healthy ways to integrate manifestation into your practice. First, your mindset shapes your standards. It is true that your beliefs about yourself and your beliefs about the world around you shape how you interact with other people and yourself, and what you accept about what other people do to you, how they speak to you, and so on and so forth. Your mindset is very pivotal to being able to shape those standards. They shape your non-negotiables as well. But your mindset is not responsible for how people treat you. Your energy shapes what you tolerate. Your energy dictates whether or not you're going to allow someone to flirt with you or to offer you a job or to treat you in a dishonest way. You show up genuinely and authentically as yourself, and you show up calm even in the face of adversity. And you will wind up noticing that people respect you. Yes, sometimes people will still throw you disrespect even when you are being a respectful person. Let them stew in their own excrement. You are not responsible for that. Your self-concept shapes who and what you invest in. If you have a self-concept that says, I'm really into being passionate about creativity, and you are out here making videos for TikTok, YouTube, and so many other things, and someone is trying to tell you that they've heard everything that you're saying before, then let them be. Let them go do what they want to go do. But you are meant to be invested in. And whatever else you invest in, such as your creative passions and other things that you want to put your energy into, is dictated by your self-concept. But nothing erases someone else's accountability. Spirituality becomes powerful when it helps you to say, I deserve better and I'm going to act accordingly. Not, I must have manifested this mistreatment. You never manifest mistreatment. People show up the way that they genuinely want to, regardless of how you feel about yourself. And the takeaway is this: you can believe in the universe and still believe in free will. God gave us all free will. We are the gods of our own universe if we believe in the fact that there is a percentage of the God particle within us. And we can talk about that in another discussion. You can manifest beautiful things without spiritually gaslighting yourself or bypassing your life. You can heal, grow, attract, and expand without taking responsibility for someone else's actions. Your power lives in your choices, not your self-blame. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to click the link in the description that will take you straight to my social media and everything else connected to the Skellington Grin brand. I hope that you follow, and I hope that you are able to share this with someone else who could use a little bit of perspective on what they may have seen that was disingenuous to what they know about manifestation. This has been another enlightening episode of Elaborations with Skellington Grin, and as always, thank you for tuning in. I have been your host, Ava, your Gothic Witch Big Sis, and I can't wait to sit with you again in the next episode. Bye for now.